gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what they say.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
On the latest headlines, we've got a suspected killer due in court. One of two men, in fact, charged with capital murder of a 12-year-old girl, expected to face a judge. We're learning more disturbing details about what happened to Jocelyn Nungari through court documents. Shelby Rose joins us live right now with the latest on this case.
All right, guys. So we have more crime from Biden's bloody border. Yes, I coined the term Biden's bloody border, where illegal aliens in this country are running rampant, running wild, able to do whatever they want, and getting benefits from tax-paying American citizens. There is an extreme injustice going on. And after the debate of seeing Biden last night, he's not fit for the job. It's obvious. And he must not be the one in charge calling the shots.
Shelby.
Good morning. Yes, according to court records, both suspects in this case had already had their bond denied by a judge. But in just about 30 minutes from now is when we're expecting to see 26-year-old Franklin Pena appear for the first time in court. The second suspect in this case, that's 21-year-old Johan Martinez. He is scheduled for tomorrow. Now, both men are facing capital murder charges for the death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari just 1 week ago.
They murdered a 12-year-old girl, and what I understand from this story, they raped her for 2 whole hours. A 12-year-old. These super illegal burrito gremlins are on demon time.
According to court documents, the suspects lured her under a bridge where they stayed with her for more than 2 hours before allegedly killing her and throwing her body into the bayou.
Wow.
Less than 1 month prior, though, on May 28th, Pena, Venezuelan national, was detained by Border Patrol agents in El Paso and released the same day.
Of course. Detained by Border Patrol and released. This is the epitome of Biden's bloody border. And it's not just blood that Biden has on his hands. It's a lot more bodily fluids, because these illegals are, I mean, they're manic. They're freaking a lot of them just feral animals at this point, and they are preying on innocent young women. It's absolutely disgusting. They're shooting our police officers. It has to stop.
Similarly, Martinez was apprehended and released on March 14th. Now, it's unclear what will happen in court this morning, but Jocelyn's mother hopes the justice system will prevail.
She deserves to live and breathe every single day. I was looking forward to seeing how beautiful she was going to grow up to be. And I know God is real, God is good, and they will feel God's wrath.
And we did want to pass along the details for Jocelyn's funeral that will be held this Thursday. The services will be at the Earthman Rest Haven Cemetery on the North Freeway from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the community is invited to attend and pay their respects. Also, Mattress Mac has covered the funeral expenses and will be hosting a celebration of life for Jocelyn following the service. And that will be held at Gallery Furniture on the North Freeway. Reporting live outside the Harris County Courthouse, Shelby Rose, Fox 26 News.
Of 12-year-old Jocelyn. We are learning new details about that horrific death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary. As we did mention, one of those suspects in her death in court today. His immigration status and restrictions placed by authorities are raising some questions. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia getting answers from an immigration attorney and reaction from the family after the court appearance. Jonathan.
Yeah, just horrific details today. Prosecutors in court today shared how Jocelyn had marks on her neck, scrapes on her body consistent with being dragged, and how one of the suspects put his arms around Jocelyn's neck and covered her mouth.
Our immigration system is broken, and if there was ever a case that reflected that, it's this one.
Franklin Peña, one of the alleged killers of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary, made his initial court appearance today. It was
we need mass deportations, like Donald Trump said. And the good thing about it is that the majority of Hispanic Americans support it. So they're going to try to do a lot of things to throw us off when it comes to just the media trying to spin the mass deportations thing. But in all actuality, that's gonna be the thing that works and that makes this country safe again. Okay. And once it's safe again, we can make it great again. And this is something that the Democrats do not want. They want to continue to bring in a new voter base. They want to continue to bring in the crime, the illegals. I mean, it's just, they want complete and utter chaos, and people are fed up.
Said that Peña, who's a Venezuelan native and entered the country illegally, had an ankle monitor provided by ICE.
Immigration needs to get redone. You tell me that with an ankle monitor, you're good, but you're still walking on the streets.
Fox 26 spoke with Alexis Lucero, an immigration defense attorney, and he explained that ICE places restrictions on some people they release by way of a limited service cell phone or an ankle monitor.
People are generally subject to detention when immigration authorities cannot make a determination whether that person is a danger to the community, or that they doubt that the person will actually present themselves later to immigration authorities.
The GPS tracking devices are monitored by law enforcement agencies and contractors, but Lucero says ICE is limited by their budget and contract.
Let's say, for example, somebody alters or removes it. It may be difficult for immigration to actually locate them after that process. Immigration may know their last whereabouts, but they may be unable to detect them later on.
Jocelyn's mother says Peña and Johan Martinez took her daughter's life away, but her legacy will live forever.
She was a very special little girl that deserves her justice. And I know she's going to make a difference in this world for all children. And now it's my job to make sure it continues to happen.
Peña was given a $10 million bond, and the second suspect, Johan Martinez, is due in court tomorrow morning. Now, District Attorney Kim Ogg says they will ask for the same bond amount for Martinez as well. I'm reporting live in the studio tonight, Jonathan Mejia, Fox 26 News.
To an emotional day for the gang violence and other kind of violence.
Anyway.
what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. All right, guys. So, man, I want to get into it. It is crazy what's going on with this illegal immigration and Biden's bloody border. That's right. Biden's bloody border. We saw what the result was of Biden's health. We know how he is, cognitively. He isn't all the way there, showing signs of early Alzheimer's, dementia, however you want to say. And it is ruining our country. It really is. You got this man on stage completely mumbling, stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling. And innocent people are dying in this country for no reason. Avoidable situations. And he's completely dropped the ball on the border. So we have to cover another murder by an illegal alien. Only this time it was at a beloved Chik Fil in Irving, Texas. Okay. So I want to bring this to you guys. I mean, it's crazy. It's horrible what's happening in this country. And this is exactly the Democrats' plan. This is their plan. This is what they want. Utter and total destruction so that they can implement that one world government. I mean, that's all this is pretty much summing up to, right? They want to install a surveillance state. And in many ways, the Black community is helping usher in a surveillance state, usher in more gun control laws and all this kind of stuff. And it's just a dysfunctional situation going on in the country right now. I mean, everybody is out here becoming victims. And then there are many individuals that are becoming perpetrators. And what's happening is when they commit crimes, they're not held to account. The woke district attorneys, judges, Border Patrol even are not doing their job. They are letting people go. It's a revolving door. And it's got to stop. We need some structure. We need the adults to come into the room, come into the equation. And I think that is the plan for the Trump administration. But we see what 4 years of Biden looks like. And we have to ask ourselves, can we really last 4 more years of that?
Irving police are looking for an armed man who shot and killed 2 people at a Chick-fil-A restaurant this afternoon. The shooting happened just before 4. Police did not reveal the circumstances surrounding the shooting, but did say it was a targeted attack. They're now looking for the suspect, who they believe got away in a 1997 4-door silver Honda. Fox 4's Amelia Jones spoke to the mother of a teenage witness. She joins us live in Irving. Amelia.
Clarice, I just checked in with Irving police and they told me that the suspect is still on the run. The scene, as you can see behind me, is still very active 6 hours after this shooting happened. Irving police are focusing their investigation on this Chick-fil-A restaurant behind me off of MacArthur Boulevard and Walnut Hill. Police have the perimeter of the building taped off, and they also brought over some additional barriers to further secure the building. Police are not releasing many details, but they did confirm that the shooting happened inside the restaurant just before 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Holy crap. Holy crap. So you go into a Chick-fil-A and all the white girls are working and making milkshakes and smiling at you and saying my pleasure. And then you just decide to shoot up. I mean, even if you went in with the intention of targeting somebody in the Chick-fil-A, you start seeing those smiles and start hearing those my pleasures, and you have a change of heart, unless you're a heartless person. And see, this is why we can't have these third worlders coming to the country all willy-nilly without any type of background check, without any type of differentiating between good and bad. We need to get to the bottom of this, right? Because these people, they literally just don't have the same values, man. That's really what it comes down to. These people feel like it's okay to shoot up a public restaurant, right? Quote unquote Christian business. I know people might have issues with Chick-fil-A, but they, present themselves as a Christian business. They're closed on Sundays, and you have people who come in this country who don't respect that. They don't respect our culture. They don't respect our values. They don't respect just common decency. There's no vetting when it comes to the illegals coming into the country with Biden's bloody border. There's no type of, it's crazy. There's no type of drainage system or funneling system. It's just all for every man for himself. And then you just run up in there and it's all good. And there's no repercussions, and you get caught by them. Then they just let you go. And this is why this man was able to do what he did.
2 people were shot and killed. Right now, we don't know if the victims were employees or customers at the restaurant, rather. Police say they believe this was a targeted shooting, but wouldn't say why they think that, only adding there's no threat to the public. This is the man police are looking for. 37-year-old.
But here's the thing. You can't say there's no threat to the public when there are tens of millions of illegal aliens still in this country. This is just one man down. There's just one man out of commission. They have a whole army littered throughout the country. So we're not safe. The public should be on guard, because there are more of Oved, Bernardo, Mendoza, Argueta. There's more of him all over the country.
Oved, Bernardo, Mendoza, Argueta. Police also released a photo of his car, a 1997 silver 4-door Honda with a Texas license plate GVH 6205. They're telling people not to try to apprehend him or stop him. Just call 911. We spoke to a mother who was waiting for her daughter to get off work at the Taco Bell restaurant next door. She told us her daughter called her crying from the bathroom right after the shooting happened.
She called me from the bathroom crying because she's scared. Because she's like, Mom, so people got shot. It sounded like a car wreck. She's like, they're jumping out the window. They're jumping out the window. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? At that moment, a mother concern is my baby.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Black community has helped usher in these illegal aliens and usher in this ludicrous policy of open borders. And you see the Black community in Chicago, they're standing up to it now. The Black community in New York, they're standing up to it. The Hispanic community, the legal Hispanic community, they're standing up to it. But unfortunately, they also helped usher in our destruction. So we have to be cognizant of that as well and understand, hey, these policies actually affect you in real life. And your baby, yes, your baby could have been shot by this illegal alien solely based off of your vote.
How soon can I get to her?
Latina Williams told me the window her daughter is referring to is the drive-through window of the Chick-fil-A. Irving police said several people were inside the restaurant when the shooting happened and called 911. We reached out to Chick-fil-A for a statement on this deadly attack, but we haven't heard back. Right now, Irving police aren't releasing any details about the 2 victims. We're told that they're still trying to contact family members. We don't know if the 2 victims knew each other or if they knew the suspect. Irving police did tell us earlier this afternoon that they are looking into surveillance video in this area. If you have seen the suspect, Mendoza, Argueta, or you know where he may be, you're asked to contact Irving Police immediately.
Just like that. And the man was able to get away too. That is concerning as well, right? He was able to dip off. Now, he did eventually get arrested, but he wasn't arrested at the scene. And he could have went on to hurt more people. And this is what we are subjecting ourselves to as a society because of what? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like, fuck that. I'm more focused on safety. I'm more focused on how are we going to make sure that our kids can make a living in this economy. That's what people are worried about. But the left has completely disregarded the common American. They are completely out of touch with the common American, and they don't understand that we don't want these motherfuckers in the country, bro. We really don't. We're done with it. We're sick of it. They're going around raping people. They're going around killing people. They're going around being pieces of shit. They're going around shooting police officers. They're not contributing anything positive to society. They've overstayed their welcome, period. They've overstayed their welcome. All right. I know Biden let them all in, but the Trump policy should be, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. The time 9:28 over on the East Coast and 6:28 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here for the next several hours to bring you all of your top stories and live events from across the country and across the world. We are following some breaking news coming in from our Fox 4 Dallas team. This is out of Irving, Texas, outside of Dallas. Police arresting a man wanted in connection to a deadly shooting inside of a Chick-fil-A restaurant. Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta, 37 years old, booked into the Irving jail this morning, and the information is just coming in. We know that 2 people were killed inside of that Chick-fil-A restaurant. Wow. Again, a suspect now in custody. This is according to our Fox 4 Dallas team. Do want to take you to their live report from just moments ago.
Murder of 2 people at an Irving
restaurant
was booked into jail early this morning.
Fox 4's Tisa Muzinga joins us live at the Irving Police Department with that story. Tisa?
Yeah, good morning, guys. 37-year-old Oved Bernardo Mendoza, Argueta, is sitting in the Irving jail. He was booked around 3 a.m. this morning. Now, police say that he shot and killed 2 people inside the Chick-fil-A near MacArthur Boulevard and Walnut Hill Lane Wednesday afternoon. We still don't know the names of the victims, and a woman told Fox 4 she rushed to the scene after getting a call from her teenage daughter who works at a restaurant next door.
She's like, they're jumping out the window. They're jumping out the window. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? At that moment, a mother concern is my baby. How soon can I get to her? We think that our kids is going to be safe when they leave the home to make some extra money, you know, and when they get here, something to happen, and this is too close.
Police have not said if the victims were customers or Chick-fil-A employees, and police do believe they were targeted. It is unclear how the suspect is connected to them. Mendoza Argueta, by the way, is charged with capital murder, and there has not been a bond set yet. For Good Day, I'm Tisa Muzinga.
Oh, man. And we shouldn't have to live like this. Nope. No, we should not. But this is exactly what the Democrats have planned for us. This is exactly what Biden's sleepy ass has planned for us. I mean, this guy could barely stay awake during the debate. He got washed. He got smoked. And I actually did an Instagram post where the New York Times was fact-checking the debate. And every time they fact-check Trump, they'd say, okay, Trump makes this claim. And they would say false. And then when Biden would make a claim, it would say, needs context. Let me show you guys that post. Let me show you guys that post, because it's really telling. They're still trying to defend the cadaver in chief. They're still trying to defend it. If you guys didn't see my Instagram post, this is my Instagram. This is my Instagram, Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go follow that. Hey, make sure you go follow that. Hey, and then hit the Twitter or the X too. Follow my X. I was just banned, and then I was unbanned, and then they unbanned my other account, but then they banned my other account. I'm doing backflips on social media, dude, because I mean, I just don't understand. They just can't have an educated brother speaking on these crimes that are going on in the country. But anyways, look, their coverage, false. Trump, okay, what he's done for the black community. And then Biden, black employment is the lowest it's been in a long time, black unemployment. And they say needs context. Trump, you look at the cost of food where it's doubled and tripled, and they're saying false. But then Biden, oh, I went to the World War II cemetery or World War I cemetery. He refused to go. He was standing, and that's the suckers and losers thing. Needs context. It's such BS. Everything that Trump says is false. Everything that Biden says needs context. This is how the media distorts things. This is how they use their predictive programming, their subliminal messaging to mind control you. That's all this is. It's a huge mind control project, and you, the American people, we, the people, are the subjects.
The man arrested for killing 2 people at an Irving restaurant yesterday has been identified to police by his wife. Hello, I'm Steve Eager. Oved Bernardo Mendoza is accused of murdering 2 people, Patricia Portillo and an unnamed man at a Chik Fil yesterday afternoon. They were employees, and so was his wife. Police haven't shared why they think he did it. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is live with the latest. Alex.
Hey, Stephen, you know, at this point, we still have a lot of unanswered questions. Irving police declined any additional on-camera interviews today, saying they really want to let the detectives work this
Yeah, Alexander, maybe Alexander with the O. A.O. Xander. He makes a good point. He says, let's not forget what Tyson Chicken did. Fired thousands of U.S. citizens, then replaced them with illegals seeking political asylum. Yes, they actually did do that. And it's a damn shame. And people are talking about, oh, well, what does Trump mean by black jobs? Black jobs. Well, those are black jobs. In my city, in Atlanta, Georgia, when we talk about the poultry, you know who the majority of people working at the poultry are? Black and Hispanic men, period. There's no debate. It's not even up for discussion. So when you have illegals coming in, because we're all cool with working with the legal Hispanics and you know, anybody who is a legal immigrant. But when you have the illegals coming in, yes, they are taking jobs, and yes, they are being paid under the table. And that hurts the American taxpayer. That hurts the American employee, because you're undermining, you're cutting out Americans who have a minimum wage to work against with illegals. So now, okay, instead of paying these Americans $15, $20 an hour, I'm going to pay these illegals $5, $6, $8 an hour. And then I'm saving double. So it's an incentive for the major corporations, which Biden supports. Like, he always talks, oh, the major corporations pay their fair share. But every policy that he's making only helps the major corporations. His mandates during the pandemic only helped the major corporations. The rich got richer, and the poor got poorer, and the middle class was squeezed out into becoming the poor. So with this inflation, with the data that presents itself, I mean, he was trying to talk about, oh, well, when he got the economy, it was at 9% inflation. He got it down. That's BS. Trump handed off the economy at 1.2, between 1.2 and 1.4 inflation. And Biden's over here trying to take credit for the economy that Trump handed off, which was severely, affected by the pandemic that was completely orchestrated by the left. and it was a plot to interfere with the election, for one. It was also a population control plot, and it was a compliance plot. It was to see who would comply, who would not. It was to differentiate and decipher who can we control, who do we got to get rid of when we're trying to implement this new world order. And unfortunately, Americans took the bait. We fell for it. Overall, I know you guys over here didn't fall for it, and you guys didn't get vaxxed, and you guys didn't take the jab, and you guys weren't wearing masks, and you guys weren't social distancing as if it was something that was going to help. And you guys didn't take the CV seriously. I know all of us over here didn't take it seriously, but I would say a majority of Americans did. And, you know, those were the ones telling you were going to kill their grandmas. And in all actuality, the jab was killing grandmas. But anyways, we'll just refrain from that topic.
Case at the moment. We know that the suspect's wife, as you mentioned, worked at that Chick-fil-A, as did the two people who were killed inside. One of them has been identified. A small memorial is beginning to flourish outside this Chick-fil-A located off MacArthur Boulevard in Irving, where police say 37-year-old Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta fatally shot two people inside the fast food restaurant Wednesday afternoon.
This is very, very sad news, and this is a nice and safe area.
Mohammed Raga, who lives in the area, stopped by to pay his respects, as did this trio, who brought several bunches of flowers and a picture of a woman smiling. Words written in Spanish translate to "for my girl." The group declined to identify the woman. According to an arrest affidavit, one of the victims is 49-year-old Patricia Portillo. A source tells Fox 4 News the other victim, not identified in the affidavit, is a male. In a statement to Fox 4 News, Chick-fil-A said in part, "We will miss our two team members dearly. Right now, our focus is on providing care for our team and the victims' families." Investigators have not released a possible motive for the double fatal shooting, but said yesterday, before Mendoza Argueta was located, that there was no threat to the public.
Our investigators have received information that lead them to believe this is a targeted incident and not a random act of violence.
That information appears to have come from the suspect's wife. The arrest report states Mendoza Argueta's wife is an employee at Chick-fil-A. She reportedly witnessed the shooting and identified her husband as the gunman. The report does not say if he knew the two victims or if they were his intended targets. Police also did not say how and where they were able to locate Mendoza Argueta, who fled the scene in this Honda and caught early Thursday morning. Back at the Chick-fil-A Thursday, the store remains closed as biohazard crews clean up the scene inside.
Whatever happened yesterday is very, very sad. Very, very sad, because each and every life is very important. Each and every life is very important from.
And I love that mindset, man. It's so tough. It's so tough when you're dealing with these stories and you just kind of feel powerless in many of these situations. So, man, I love that he said that, and we need more people who think like that.
God.
And Mendoza.
Each and every life is very important. Each and every life is very important from God.
And Mendoza Argueta remains in jail on murder charges. He's also being detained by ICE on an immigration hold. A Chick-fil-A in its statement today did not say when they believe the store might reopen.
And they don't even know when the store might reopen. I mean, that's just sad. They've completely destroyed the economics of this Chick-fil-A, for one, because now who really wants to go to this Chick-fil-A when you know you got bloodthirsty illegal aliens pulling up and clapping shit. So we're gonna get into an article from the New York Post. All right. And the New York Post has been really good on covering these illegal murders from Biden's bloody border. 2 workers were allegedly shot and killed by an illegal migrant at a Texas Chick-fil-A on Wednesday in the latest disturbing incident believed to have been committed by a, quote unquote, asylum seeker. And I hate that they're saying asylum seeker. These are illegal aliens. Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta, a 37-year-old native of El Salvador. So this is coming from President Bukele, who has pretty much gotten rid of all the crime in El Salvador overnight. He did it in, I think it was like 3 weeks or 3 months, something like that. But they arrested 60,000 gang members, MS-13. Those of the likes they actually were doing satanic rituals that Bukele covered on Tucker Carlson's podcast. So he spoke on that and exposed the MS-13 for the bloodthirsty Satanist gang members that they were, and he arrested them all. And this guy has fled from El Salvador. Now, why do you think he's fled from El Salvador? Just take a guess. Why do you think it's most likely because he caught a charge in El Salvador and now he is a quote unquote asylum seeker? No, he just don't want to get held accountable by what, appears to be, and from my complete knowledge, from my research, Bukele is a righteous man. He doesn't want to be held accountable in the face of a righteous man, because he knows that his punishment is going to be severe and it's going to be just and it's going to be equally measured to the crimes that he committed in El Salvador against his people. So, I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on. And he's fleeing El Salvador to come to the United States, which makes no sense. People should fear going to our jails and prisons and fear breaking the law in our country and being held accountable, but they don't. And that's why we're the laughing stock of the world right now. Okay, so he was arrested and charged with capital murder after he opened fire in the fast food joint in Irving around 3:40 p.m., according to police. 2 people, one identified as Patricia Portillo, died at the scene from gunshot wounds. The other victims identified is being withheld pending family notification, a police spokesperson told the Post. And I have the identification of that second victim. I will go over that during the stream. He fled the scene in a silver 97 Honda sedan, but was tracked down and taken into custody after 2:50 a.m. Thursday morning. Irving police confirmed he had an ice hold. So he had an ice hold. I mean, this is ridiculous. These people are brushing shoulders, getting arrested by Border Patrol, and they're being released. An Immigration and Customs Enforcement spokesperson told the Post that the agency's enforcement and removal operations in Dallas logged an immigration detainer with the Irving Police Department on Mendoza. ICE issues such holds for non-citizens who have been apprehended by local or state police to indicate ICE intends to take them into custody, according to the agency. It's not immediately clear where and when Mendoza entered the U.S. Our hearts are broken by the tragedy that unfolded inside our restaurant Wednesday. We will miss our 2 team members dearly, Chick-fil-A said in a statement. Right now, our focus is on providing care for our team and the victims' families. I want to thank Irving Police Department for their professionalism and compassion. We will continue working closely with them as they conduct their investigation. The double homicide comes just days after 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare, who we also covered, was allegedly brutalized and murdered by 2 illegal migrants from Venezuela and Houston. And she wasn't allegedly brutalized. No, she was raped for 2 hours by 2 illegal aliens. See, the news, they're good. New York Post has been okay at really covering this, but the verbiage and the language in the articles sometimes offends me, right? Because tell it like it is. Those 2 illegal alien animals raped a 12-year-old girl for 2 fucking hours. They fucked a 12-year-old girl for 2 hours, dog. And y'all sitting over here talking about, oh, they brutalized her. No, they fucking raped a 12-year-old, bruh. Let's talk about it. Right? Let's talk about it. And then they killed her, dumped her body in a shallow grave with her pants off. by the way. Let's talk about that, right? Biden's bloody border, and I spoke about it yesterday. It's a lot more other bodily fluids that Biden has on his hands, including the blood of these people slain by these illegal aliens. Franklin Jose Peña Ramos and Johan Jose Rangel Martinez allegedly lured Johanan under a bridge, stripped her naked to the waist, and raped her for 2 hours, according to the court documents. The men, who had been in the U.S. only a few months, tied her hands behind her back during the assault, then strangled her and dumped her body in a bayou, prosecutors said. Both have been charged with capital murder. Earlier this month, a 13-year-old girl was raped in New York City Park in broad daylight by an illegal migrant from Ecuador. Christian Giovanni Inga Landi, 25, held a girl and boy, both 13, at knife point in a secluded section of Kissena Park, had their hands tied with shoelaces, police said. The fiend raped the girl and filmed it before running off with the kids' phones, cops said. A flood of tips from the local community members and Good Samaritans who dramatically subdued the suspect led to his arrest days later. And New York, they wanted to charge those people for subduing that illegal alien too. Don't get it fucked up. New York City wanted to charge them for making the citizen's arrest of that illegal alien, but since they didn't hurt him too bad and they didn't kill him, then, you know, they couldn't do anything. But mark my words, if they would have put a scratch on that little illegal alien's head, that rapist's head, that monster's head, that animal's head, New York Attorney General Alvin Bragg and Letitia James, the district attorney, would have come down hard on the Good Samaritan U.S. citizens who are trying to do the right thing by apprehending this monster that they've allowed to seek asylum in their city. It's disgusting. It's repulsive. It's repugnant. And this is what Democrats are all about. This is exactly what they're all about. And bringing in these illegal aliens, in many cases, it also has to do with the LGBT community because they're trying to normalize grapes. They're trying to normalize it. And I mean, I don't even know why I'm censoring. Anyway, they're trying to normalize the rapes, bro. And they do this with LGBT. They're doing this with the border, the bloody border, the illegal alien crisis. They're doing it with all these things. And they say, oh, well, it's something normal. And now it's a sexual identity. Now it's LGBT QPR, right? And the P stands for pedo and the R stands for rape. And this is what the Democrats are about. So I just need people to understand that if you're going to this election and you're still with Biden after that debate, hey, man, I ain't got nothing. I don't know what to say to you.
The man Irving police say is linked to the death of 2 people inside of a fast food restaurant is in jail. Nicole Nielsen outside of the Chick-fil-A right off North MacArthur Boulevard with what she's learned today about that investigation.
This Chick-fil-A location might be closed, but there's still people slowly showing up here today to leave flowers in honor of the 2 lives lost. Police believe the shooting was a targeted attack. They began receiving 911 calls around 4 p.m. yesterday when 37-year-old Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta opened fire inside the same Chick-fil-A where his wife works. He shot and killed 2 other employees.
Wow. So he was trying to, I mean, it looked like he was trying to delete his wife and ended up killing 2 other employees. I mean, these dudes are sick, man. These dudes are sick. And the same feminists who are voting for these Democrats who are allowing illegal aliens to come in are enabling domestic abuse, domestic violence against women, rape against women, savagery against women. And it's despicable. These super illegal burrito gremlins are on demon time.
One of the victims was 49-year-old Patricia Portillo. Police have not yet identified the other victim. The Chick-fil-A's local owner-operator said in part, "Our hearts are broken by the tragedy that unfolded inside our restaurant on Wednesday. We will miss our 2 team members dearly." Right now, our focus is on providing care for our team and the victims' families. Argueta was arrested early this morning and charged with murder. Irving police have not confirmed where Argueta is from, but we are told that he has an immigration hold on him, also known as an ICE detainer.
Shout out to L Sadler for the $5 PayPal. He says, "Good job."
Oh, say less.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's not easy, for one, finding these stories, covering these stories every single day, and, you know, just keeping up with it. It's all very tiresome. It's a lot of moving parts. I don't get paid for this shit at all. You know, but I'm doing this because, you know, I just feel an urge. I feel what many could say a calling to just discuss these topics and have an open conversation about them and have an uncensored conversation. Notice on my TikTok, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, I never delete comments. Everybody can say anything about me. They can say I'm Uncle Tom Coon, sell out, all this other shit. I never delete the comments. I might reply, I might clap back, but I don't delete the comments. Whether you're critical of me, whether you say I'm a piece of shit because of my thumbnails, all this stuff, I don't care. I am 100% for open and free speech. And even if it's critical of me, and I try to exemplify that in the way that I run my channels, the way that I run my social media platforms. But I am completely shadow banned. I'm completely censored. And, you know, I would never want to do that to somebody else in any capacity. So that's just the way that I feel about it. That's my, I guess, personal ethics on that. And, you know, it's tough to hold that stance and continue to operate on these platforms when you know that they're 100% against you, even when your personal life is also affected as well. But I'm willing to do that because I believe in what we're doing here. I believe in exposing this filth that is being enabled by the Democrat Party in many ways. And I think it will eventually lead to something good in overcoming these ailments of violence that we see ourselves succumbing to in the United States.
Today, people began leaving items for a makeshift memorial outside.
Whatever happened yesterday is very, very sad. Very, very sad, because each and every life is very important. And this is a nice and safe area.
Currently, Argueta is being held in the Irving jail. As for now, Chick-fil-A has no comment on when this location plans to reopen. In Irving, Nicole Nielsen, CBS News, Texas.
Woo! Now that's deep, man. That is deep. So we're going to now focus on the victims. We're going to focus on the victims. Guys, make sure you hit that Cash App. Make sure you hit that PayPal. I am demonetized and shadow banned on all platforms for it, so anything you do can help. Go to the merch store. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Janquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Very first time we're hearing personal experiences from those with loved ones who were inside that Irving Chick-fil-A this week on Wednesday when a gunman came in, opened fire. 2 people died. As Nicole Nielsen reports now, the healing for so many has only just begun.
At a place you'd never expect, a growing memorial to honor the lives of 2 people.
As a mother, and just even you don't even have to be a mother, just as a human being itself, it is scary. I mean, are we not able to go out and work?
No, you're not. And that's the whole point. Biden wants everybody to be broke. The Democrats want everybody to be insolvent so that you're helpless and so that you go back to the government and beg for a handout, which has been working for a long time. And I think that people are trying to put 2 and 2 together, but they're just not creative enough. This is what I've come to understand. You know, living regular life and and just living life on a day-to-day basis, people have lost their creativity, their imagination for creative plots, creative schemes on, that are for good or evil, right? The creativity to solve violent crime in the Black community. People have lost that instinct. How do you do it? Where's the creativity? How can you do it at the lowest cost possible? That takes intuition. That takes initiative. That takes creativity. It takes foresight and planning, but it also takes abstract thinking. But people have lost that, so they can't put two and two together that the crime is coming from the illegal aliens. The Democrats are pushing, a borderless society. The left is pushing, DEI and a borderless society. They can't put two and two together. And, there's also an ethical quarrel internally because they don't want to seem like, if they're Hispanic, they don't want to seem like they're selling out their people, or they don't want to seem like they're cooning on the Hispanic side. I don't know what they would call that, but the reality is that most of this is just common sense. It's common sense policy that is completely objective and doesn't see color, but people are trying to put narratives on it as if it's racist to not want illegal aliens, people who are committing crimes, to get into the country.
Can we not go out and have a decent meal at a restaurant?
This Irving Chick-fil-A was the scene of what police call a targeted shooting on Wednesday. Sources tell me 37-year-old Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta fired shots and went to the kitchen where his wife worked. Two other people, 49-year-old Patricia Portillo and 31-year-old Brayan Alexis Godoy, were shot and killed.
I have a lot of unanswered questions. I just want to know, like I said, basically, who is the wife? Do I still want my, child working here?
Irving police have not talked about what, if any, relationship there is between the suspect, his wife, and the two victims. Sources say Argueta is a Salvadoran national, and there is an immigration hold on him. I talked to a mother who wants to remain anonymous. Her son was working in the kitchen when the shooting happened and jumped out of a window to escape.
He just keeps telling me he's okay, but I don't know what's going on in his head right now.
She dropped off flowers, knowing this past Wednesday could have been very different. Grateful to still have her son, but heartbroken for those who lost a family member.
Cherish all the moments you have. It doesn't have to be your child, just, your loved ones. Cherish them. If you're missing them, call them. You want to hug them. Hug them. If you want to tell them you love them, tell them you love them. Cherish every moment.
How has this affected you as a parent?
It's very devastating. Very devastating.
Now, Chick-fil-A hasn't said when this store location will reopen, but employees say it's likely to be closed another 2 weeks. Reporting in Irving, Nicole Nielsen, CBS News, Texas.
Woo! Now they're keeping it closed for another 2 weeks. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, man. We are in a rough situation in this country. And it just appears that there's not much being done to prevent these heinous crimes from happening. This guy was able to kill 2 people, and he had an ICE hold, and he wasn't supposed to be out. And they're putting people on ankle monitors, and it's not working. It's scary. People are frightened. They don't know what to do. They've never been in a situation where they've been infiltrated from within. People can't fathom the types of crimes that these people are willing to commit. I'm talking about brutal savagery. I'm talking about mutilations and bloody rapes and and cannibalistic tendencies. I mean, this is real, guys. We live in a civilized society, but y'all don't understand. Most of the world is still in a third world situation. Like, they're living in the Stone Ages, bro. They've been living in the Stone Ages, man. And people just can't see that. Like, would you invite a caveman into your home? Right? Like, it's crazy. It's really wild.
This morning, we have learned the name of the second person who was killed in a shooting at a Chick-fil-A in Irving. Police say Brayan Godoy and Patricia Portillo worked at the restaurant. Godoy was from Guatemala and a father of 4. Police say the victims were shot by Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta on Wednesday. His wife also works at Chick-fil-A. She identified him to police. He's been charged with capital murder.
This morning.
Woo! And these people are willing to throw their lives away at the drop of a dime. And that's because they just don't think that anything's going to end up happening to them, honestly. That's really what it comes down to.
Details about the deadly shooting at Chick-fil-A. Tonight, we've confirmed that both victims worked there and the suspect's wife witnessed the attack. Irving police say Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta shot and killed Patricia Portillo. And while police haven't identified the second victim, we know he's a father of 4. Argueta's wife also works at the Chick-fil-A on North MacArthur Boulevard, and she identified him to police. He's now been charged with
All right. We're coming to the conclusion. We're coming to the conclusion of this stream. This stream was very much censored. Not that, well, yeah, this stream too, but this story I meant, but this stream also was very much censored. Very much hidden from the public. They really do not want you to hear about these types of stories, but I'm doing my best to keep up with all of them. I want to be able to cover my goal in this channel. For one, I need to finish my Evil African Kings series. 2, I need to, well, I plan on covering all of the illegal alien murders in the country this year, and then also all of the interracial murders in this country. I already pledged to you guys that I would do that, would keep up with it. So that's what I'm doing. But these situations are going to happen more and more frequently, especially leading up to the election and leading up to inauguration. And I think Trump will be able to solve this issue. I really do. And I think he's dedicated to doing that. So
The victims of a double murder at a Chick-fil-A restaurant were a father of 4 providing for his family in Central America and a grandmother who leaves behind a grieving family here in North Texas. Brayan Godoy and Patricia Portillo were victims of what Irving police are calling a targeted shooting. They both worked at the Chick-fil-A where they were killed. The suspect's wife also worked there. She was the one who actually identified her husband as the murderer. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager with more from the victims' families and friends tonight. Peyton.
She called.
Steve, and these 2 grieving families are still trying to figure out why this shooting took place here inside the Irving Chick-fil-A. One family is working to have a proper burial in Guatemala. Another family is trying to raise funds for a funeral next week here in North Texas. Friday, fresh flowers surround photos of the 2 Irving Chick-fil-A employees shot and killed while on the job Wednesday. 31-year-old Brayan Godoy, a father of 4 from Guatemala, has now been identified as one of the victims. The second, 49-year-old Patricia Portillo, a mother and a grandmother. 37-year-old Oved Bernardo Mendoza Argueta, a citizen of El Salvador, is charged with capital murder. Argueta is also on an immigration hold, according to ICE. Irving police believe Argueta carried out a targeted attack at the restaurant off MacArthur Boulevard in the Las Colinas neighborhood. Police revealed Argueta's wife works at the Chick-fil-A, and she positively identified her husband as the gunman. But police have not said why the two were targeted or what led up to the shooting. Friday, Fox 4 learned new details about the two victims. Godoy leaves behind a wife and family in Guatemala. Elizabeth Godoy sent Fox 4 pictures and videos of her husband with his children. In a statement, she told Fox 4, "We depended fully on him. We don't have more family."
Damn.
Godoy moved to North Texas alone, where he worked multiple jobs in order to send money back to his family. Godoy's home.
And see, you know, there's an issue with that too. And I don't want to harp on the victims too much, but you have people coming here, taking the money and not throwing it back into American economy, which this guy was working. He was working hard and trying to provide for his family. So I respect that. But you have these people coming here, taking from American dollars, American taxpayers, benefiting from our dollar and sending it off to third world countries. They're not contributing to our economy. They're just taking, whether they become a victim of violent crime or they are a perpetrator of these violent crimes. They're still not a net positive on the American people. And when it comes to America first, that doesn't work out in our equation. It just doesn't. Just doesn't. Okay, so very important to point out there.
Town friend Kevin Lopez tells Fox 4 through a translator he went after the dream of giving his family something better. Meanwhile, Portillo's daughter spoke to Fox 4 off camera on Friday, saying Portillo leaves behind grandchildren who now will grow up without her.
Steve, and it's still unclear when this Irving Chick-fil-A will reopen. It still has a window that's boarded up and also barricades still around it. Steve?
All right, Peyton Yeager. Peyton, thank you.
Wow. Very, very rough story here. And this is frightening for anybody. And you would have never, ever, ever thought that something like this could happen at a restaurant like Chick-fil-A. You never would have thought that this could happen, but it is happening, and it's happening near Chick-fil-A near you.
I'm Officer Anthony Alexander with the Irving Police Department Media Affairs. That's ANTHONYALEXANDER. At approximately 3:50 p.m., the Irving Police Department responded to a shooting in the 5300 block of North MacArthur Boulevard. When officers arrived on scene, they located two individuals that had been struck by gunfire. Both of those individuals have been pronounced deceased by the Irving Fire medics. The suspect fled prior to officers arriving on scene. I'll say that this investigation is in the very early stages and it's a very active scene. We're still following leads. However, we do believe that this was a targeted incident and not a random act of violence. I will open it for any questions that you might have. We do not have a suspect in custody at this time. We do not have a description of the suspect. However, officers are on scene gathering details about the suspect at this time. So this was in the 5300 block of North MacArthur Boulevard, and I'm just leaving it at that out of respect for the business. This was inside. Did this involve employees at that restaurant? So the people involved in their involvement with the establishment, I do not know.
Do you have injured?
We have two people deceased.
How many people were in the restaurant at the time?
I do not have an exact number of patrons in the restaurant at the time.
But there were other customers inside.
We received multiple 911 calls when this incident occurred, so I would say so, but I can't confirm that information. That I do not know, but I do know the suspect fled. I do not at this time. I believe it was a firearm, or it was a firearm. So death notifications are currently being made, unfortunately. So we're not going to go into the gender or race of the.
Why do you believe it was targeted?
So our investigators have received information that lead them to believe this is a targeted incident and not a random act of violence. I can't at this time, but we will release more information at a later time expounding on it. I do not know for sure.
So there's no threat to the public.
There is no threat to the public. Like I said, we have received information that this was a targeted incident, but our investigators are trying to establish exactly what occurred out here today.
You've got 2 choppers in the air that I've seen, but we don't know who we're looking for, vehicle, description of the suspect, nothing.
So as our investigators gather more information, if there needs to be a public release, there will be one. But at this time, we do not believe there's a threat to the public, and we're just working hard to get this person in custody.
But you believe there's only one suspect at this time?
Correct.
And was a gun recovered? Was a weapon recovered?
I do not know.
Do we know if the suspect was robbed or was in a robbed?
As far as the circumstances around them being shot, I do not know if whether it's a robbery or not.
So you don't know if there's like an altercation or something before?
No, ma'am, I do not.
And you can't confirm if the victims were employees at the restaurant or patrons?
We will not confirm out of respect for the families at this time. Yes, sir. This was inside the establishment. As soon as we have more information that we can release, we will do so immediately.
So this was the initial police interview. I do like to watch these just to see if there were any details that they presented beforehand that weren't presented on the news. But it doesn't look like this guy is giving out anything. But we'll continue, finish this up, and then we'll go ahead and conclude the stream. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have multiple YouTube channels, subscribe multiple times. Like the video multiple times and share it multiple times, goddamn, because they are completely censoring and shadow banning this stream. Y'all guys know, man, when I had 1,000 subs, I was getting like 1,000 people watching live, and now I can barely get 20 people in the building. But it's fine. We are pushing through. We're fighting the censorship. We're fighting the shadow banning. We're doing everything we can. We're multi-streaming from different platforms and building the channel that way. So, you know, we're going to fight as long as we can. We're reaching the algo, and hopefully it reaches back one day, because it really only takes one video to get to a comfortable position on YouTube. But, you know, we've been doing this for years, and I need you guys' support, because it's difficult to run this channel with no financial incentive, and you got a lot of you got a lot of cost to this, like, you know, StreamYard costs $50, the store costs $40 to keep up, and you know, I'm fine with keeping it up monthly and stuff like that myself, but then also at a point, you know, you get to diminishing returns, and it's just like, damn, where am I at with building this channel? And I continue to get the mass censorship. So just do what you guys can to support. I like the value for value proposition. Checking out the merch, going to get the Trumpets of Blood t-shirts. And we got hoodies, BGZM news hoodies, all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay. So our investigators have a lot of people to talk to, so we'll probably be out here for the next few hours. I don't have an exact number for you. I don't want to guess. I know they have quite a few to talk to. We do have surveillance in the area that will be reviewed as part of the investigation. I can't speak to what that surveillance captured for this incident, but we do have it.
Rush hour right now. Can you tell me what's blocked off for people to avoid?
So mainly we have a lane blocked on the northbound MacArthur Boulevard. Motoring residents can still get by, but obviously if they can avoid the area, we suggest they do so.
All right, guys, that was great. That was great. We had good coverage on this story. Very tough story to cover, especially when we are losing people in this country time and time again. It's not fair. It's not right. It's Biden's bloody border. These super illegal burrito gremlins are on demon time, and we will continue to expose it on this channel. But anyways, you already know what it is. It is the Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, aka Jenquavius Jackson. And we are going to send it off to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. Guys, make sure you like the stream, share the stream, comment on the stream immediately after it ends. That really helps the algorithm when you give your insight, give your take. We got 57 people in the building. I want 57 comments on the YouTube stream, Black Gen Z Mindset, before or at the end, at the conclusion of this stream. Once it ends, just leave your comment real quick, even if it's just a quick emoji, whatever it can be, to help the algo. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Please, please stay safe, because these super illegal burrito gremlins are on demon time, and Biden's bloody border is wide the hell open. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/BlackGenZMindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga Jay?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit on.
That's that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. Why I get shot anyway?
So it is what it is.